Hey everybody, how you guys doing? It's after lunch. It's like 12:30, but either way, I'm getting a lot of people calling me asking me, "Where are you? Where are you?" Anyhow, it's good to be missed. You know how it is, or good to be, I guess, recognized. I don't even know what the word is I'm trying to say, but anyhow, today, I'm going to just be free flowing it, just talking about all different kinds of things. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and get the intro going. Share it with your friends, your relatives, everyone. Even if you guys are watching or listening on replay, because now you know we're on all these different podcast platforms. Still, go ahead and share it out and let people know that Lunchtime Talk with Steve is here. All right, guys. Give me just a few minutes and I'll be right back and we will be able to chop it up. All right, so we are back. I was just sending it out to a few people so that they can join the conversation. And if any of you guys want to join in and be on camera, definitely let me know. Just you know, put it in the chat. Just say, hey, I want to be on camera, and I'll send you guys the link, and we can go from there. Now, don't forget, tomorrow we're gonna have Belinda Kendall on the show. So if it doesn't show in your feed right now, that you can set a reminder, that you could always go to Lunchtime Talk with Steve on Facebook, and then just go ahead and click it. It'll remind you when the show starts and all that good stuff. You know how we do. So let me go ahead and put the link in here before I forget. So if anyone's watching, and you guys want to be on the show, just go ahead and click that link, and let's and you'll be on camera and we can start talking then. But this is only the live one. If you guys are watching our replay, obviously we won't be able to do that on the replay. All right. Now let's see. Let's start talking about some of the stuff, because today I'm gonna just free flow, like how I did originally. I feel like sometimes I want to get my feelings and my thoughts out there. let people know what's going on, how things are. And I've been getting some people, sending me messages about some of the shows, some of the show ideas, some of the different things that we're doing with the show. Um, some agree, some don't agree, and that's the free part about the show. That's the thing I like about it. We're not always going to agree. That's like obvious, you know. So we can't just sit and pretend that we're always going to agree about everything. Some people think that my methods are a little bit too strong. Where I come across with depending on some of the things I'm saying or whatever, especially like when I challenged the Barbadian government about the athletes and things like that. You know what? That's all fine, and I appreciate your feedback. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate what you're saying. I do appreciate your thoughts and your concerns and all that good stuff. I appreciate it, but again, like how they say, if we want change, then we have to fight for it. Change is uncomfortable. Change is not always going to be comfortable. If it were, then everybody would just give it to you without you having to fight for it. And the fight is not just, a fight here in Broward County or Florida or the United States. It is a worldwide change and a worldwide fight. So a lot of times we sit back and we say, "Oh, well, that's just an issue here, issue there." No, it's not. And what I'm actually doing is I am coming up with a new segment of the show, which is Know Your History. And basically what I'm going to do with Know Your History is it's going to be part about the different things that happen to mostly African Americans, but or mostly Black people, I should say, because this is going to be a worldwide. We're talking about different things that happen in the United States, Canada, Europe, all throughout Europe. We're talking about in Spain, in England, in Australia. We're talking about different places. So you're going to start to realize that the issues and the fights that you have in your particular area aren't just unique to your particular area. We might want to think that they are, but no, really they're not. They're not unique to that area. You start to see how many different people are having issues similar to yours across the world, or how many different things happen similar to what happened to in your town across the world. Just like we started to see after George Floyd and after Trayvon Martin and after all these different people, we started to see all these things that, like, wait a second. So you mean what's happening in Minnesota happened in New York, or happened in Chicago, or happened in different places? Yeah, it does happen in different places. So we can't just sit back and think it's just unique to one area. Jose said, so true. They're going through the same thing in England and Europe in general, and it's true because let's be for real. Police brutality is not just a U.S. issue. Racism is not just a U.S. issue. These are issues that have been happening all over the world. And I know people like to think, oh my God, well, I watch the movies and in Europe they don't have those problems. Let me be the first to bust your bubble. They do. Or they think, oh, well, we never see these issues in Canada, so I don't think Canada has those issues. Yeah, let me just stick a pin and bust that bubble again. They do. And you'll start seeing some of these things coming up as time go by. And it's not to incite, anger or anything like that in people. It's just to let you know that this has been going on way too long. And it's not going to change unless we fight for that change. And when I say fight for the change, I don't mean go out there and physically pick up a baseball bat and start hitting someone upside the head. That's not what I'm saying. But we have to fight for that change. Verbally, we have to fight. We have to stand up. If you, let's say, for example, one of the biggest things is when it comes to things like jobs, housing. If you are an HR manager, or you're the hiring person at your job, and the HR manager or director above you is like, okay, well, for this position, we really don't want a black person because oh, wait a second, hold on, there's an issue with that. You want the best qualified person for the job, and if the best qualified person for that job happens to be a black person, then hire that person. If they're not, then don't hire them. I'm not saying hire them just because of the color of their skin, because you know what? Just to hire someone because they're black is just as stupid as not to hire them because they're black. Because if you put a person in that position, and here's the reason why I say that. That's another thing too that people people tend to disagree with me on, because they're like, yeah, we should hire more black people. Okay, and you know what? That's fine, but hire qualified ones, because this is where it starts to flip on us. We say that, and then you would find that that hiring manager would go out there and hire someone. They would find 10 qualified black people, but they're going to hire the one that is not qualified just to prove a point. And when that person fails in 2, 3 weeks or a month, then they're going to say, you see, we gave them a chance and they couldn't do it. Yeah, but you missed the 10 qualified ones that were here before. So no one's saying just give a person a position because of the color of their skin, but give a qualified person who's black the position. Give them that position. Give them that chance if they're qualified for that position. We really have to start fighting for these things. If we are the ones on a condo board, or you own a condo, which you might, and you see that the board is not approving applications of black people that are trying to get in. Yes, it's your responsibility to say something. And I'm not just talking to black people. I'm talking to white people, Hispanic people, everyone. It's your responsibility to say something, because if you don't, then you're part of the problem. And I was watching something the other day, and I can't remember what it was. And the guy said, when they're done with black people, what do you think they're going to do? He was speaking to a Hispanic person. He goes, when they're done with black people, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to start coming for the Hispanic people. And it's like, wow, wait a second. So once you get away with something, then you're going to get away, And again, I'm not saying that all white people are that way. That's not what I'm saying. The problem is people like to pick and choose what they want to hear. They just want to pick the words they want to hear and then say, but you said, no, I didn't say that. That's what you wanted to hear. So again, don't pick and choose my words. Quote my words all the way across, because trust me, if there's something I'm saying, I stand behind it 100%. I'm not like these people you see on the news that say something today and then tomorrow come back and go, oh, I apologize. I didn't really mean it. I was on cold medication. No, cold medication don't make you say something. Even if you're drunk, it doesn't make you say something. What happens is when you have whatever inhibition it is, whether it's alcohol or whatever in your system, it helps you to bring out what was already in your mind that you were conscious was wrong, so you didn't say it. But now, because alcohol or whatever you put into your system takes away the ability to make that good decision, you bring out the foolishness that was already in your mind. It didn't make you think that way. It just allowed you the freedom to say it, because we already know I know everybody knows when you're drunk, it's like, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to say what's already on my mind, and you say it. So it doesn't make you think that way. It just makes you stop thinking and move forward with it. People just keep sending me messages. As a matter of fact, I got to mute. Which one was that? I think that was LinkedIn that was doing that. I'm going to just cancel all of them anyway in a minute until the show's done. Okay, so Earl says the topic of race should be discussed daily to get people more comfortable and in addressing hidden problems, which is true. That's true, because you know what? We hide in the corner and we talk about these things, and we don't want to offend people. But wait a second, I'm offended. So if I'm offended, I should keep quiet because I don't want to offend the person that's offended me. How does that work? Let me put that into perspective here. So a person comes and punch me in the jaw, and because I don't want to hurt that person, I'm not going to punch them back in the jaw. I'm just going to walk away because I don't want to hurt them. But they hurt me, whether they meant to or whether they, whatever, they hurt me. But because I'm hurt, I shouldn't hurt them. I'm trying to wrap my brain around that one. So the people that are telling me, or the people that are saying that, some of the things could be offensive or whatever, help me out with that one. Help me to wrap my brain around. If you hurt me, I shouldn't hurt you. You know, about actually, you know what? And funny story. And my mom was watching. I know I saw her just a moment ago. Send me a message. Actually, she was one of the people who called me to ask me if I was going on the air today. So my mom was saying. I mean, I'm sorry. A friend of ours, a friend of the family, was commenting to me about my weight, and I mean, it's like the first thing right off the bat, as soon as he saw me, oh man, you're getting big. You're getting as big as a bull. So I insulted him right back. I can't tell you what I said because it was a really bad insult. But either way, I insulted him right back. And all of a sudden, my mom and them were like, oh, you shouldn't say that to him. Why not? You didn't tell him, don't insult me. See what I'm saying? So if you could insult me, dude, it's coming right back at you. Right back at you with the same force that you gave to me. Boom. If not more force. Because the thing is, you know how it is when you're in a fight, you don't hit the other person just to hurt him. You hurt him to knock him down so that so he doesn't get back up and he doesn't fight anymore. And that's exactly what happened. He threw an insult, I threw one right back at him, and boom, knocked him down. He stopped talking and walked away. But guess what though? He never said anything else to me. And don't get me wrong. I know I have a weight issue. I'm not saying that. That's not the issue. Again, you guys are going to pick the wrong things out of it. But the problem isn't that, yes, I have an issue with my weight. The problem is it's none of your damn business. And if you feel that you can come in and insult me in public about my weight, then be ready to get that insult thrown back at you. And don't get offended when I throw that insult back at you, because I'm gonna throw it and I'm gonna throw it harder. All right. So boom, that's how it goes. Dwayne says fair is fair, which is true. So I mean, we're getting so many but you know what I do like though, honestly, I like the idea that I like what I'm seeing from people. I like the feedback. Whether it's negative or positive feedback, listen, I love the feedback. So when people send me messages, I love it because I want to hear what you guys are saying. I want to hear the good. I want to hear the bad. I want to hear the neutral. I want to hear it all. If you feel that I'm not doing something right, tell me. I'm not going to get mad. And believe me, I will reply to you individually. But the thing is, I just want to be able to say something I want to be also able to say, like I said earlier, if the topic of race in America or race in the world offends you, then there's already something in you that's hurting. You see what I'm saying? Because it's already there. It's only that the topic is making it boil up a little bit, or the topic is bringing it to the front, but it's already there. So when people start saying, oh, I don't see race, of course you do. You do. You see it. You just push it in the back of your mind where you pretend you don't see it, but you see it. You see it every day. Every single day you see it. You walk down the street and you see the people that are coming at you. Subconsciously, you already recognize their race, their gender, their height, their build. You already recognize so many things about these people that are coming towards you. And because of the way that, because of the things that you might see or whatever, you automatically either put up a defense, drop your defense, whatever. So when people come and say they don't see race, I challenge them on that, because you do. You honestly do. I mean, let's be for real. Let's call it what it is. So, anyhow, so let me go ahead and run a commercial real quick, and I'm going to be right back with you guys. And again, like I said, the ones that are watching on podcasts and other platforms, Apple, Google, Spotify, all these other platforms, you guys may not see the commercial, but you'll hear the commercial. All right, guys, give me a moment, and I'll be right back with you.
Hey guys, I'm on my way to the office. I can't believe there's so much traffic out there. Just remember, if you get involved in a car accident during this quarantine, give me a call. Our attorneys are going to fight for you. They're going to assess the case, find solutions to your problems. Now you know. Call me. My phone number is right up there or down there. Now you know.
All right, so we are back. All right, so as a matter of fact, let me run this thing real quick. There was another thing that I was watching, and I posted it on Facebook, and this was about a concentration camp after the Civil War, a place called the Devil's Punch Bowl, and it's like, wow, it blew my mind. So I'm gonna have to run that and let you guys see what I'm talking about. It's actually a story from a news station over in Mississippi, I believe. So let me run that for you guys real quick.
This is WJTV News Channel 12 at 6.
Concentration camps. People mostly associate the term with Nazi Germany, but historians say it's true. They also existed in America. During the Civil War, authorities in Natchez, Mississippi forced tens of thousands of freed slaves into camps built in what's known as the Devil's Punch Bowl. Jacob Kittelstadt explores this forgotten history this Mystery Monday.
Untouched fruit falls to the ground near the banks of the Mississippi River.
They talk about there's the most beautiful wild peach groves down in the Punch Bowl.
And researcher Paula Westbrook says, like a peach, the area known as the Devil's Punch Bowl has a pit, a mass grave from the 1860s. Historians estimate that in 1 year, up to 20,000 freed slaves died in contraband camps below these bluffs.
When the slaves were released from the plantations during the occupation, they overran Natchez, and the population went from about 10,000 to 120,000 overnight.
So they decided to build an encampment for them at Devil's Punch Bowl, which they walled off and wouldn't let them out.
Don Estes is the former director of the Natchez City Cemetery.
I just put my own tombstone right there. You see Estes?
Learning history's been his life. He says Union troops ordered recaptured black men to perform hard labor.
Straight down right here.
While women and children were all but left to die in the 3 Punch Bowl prisons.
Disease broke out among them, smallpox being the main one, and thousands died. They were begging to get out, turn me loose and I'll go home back to the plantation, anywhere but there. But they wouldn't let them out.
The Union Army did not allow them to remove the bodies from the camp. They just gave them shovels and said, bury them where they drop.
And I'd really like to show you more of this terrain, but it's just too thick with greenery. These bluffs are also straight down, so not only is it dangerous to navigate, it's still very mysterious back there.
It's a bed of alligators and snakes. It would take Indiana Jones to get back in there at this point.
Then you come on up Washing Away Bluffs and at the Devil's Punch Bowl that has so many people that no one knows how they got killed or when, and they're still down there wasted.
And even to this day, they talk about wild peach trees that come up down there, but no one in Natchez will eat them because they know what the fertilizer was.
Exploring the unexplained on Mystery Monday, Jacob Kittelstead, WJTV News Channel 12.
And historians say even now, people might discover old skeletal remains after flooding on the Mississippi. But being on the Natchez Trace, sometimes it's difficult to tell which century those bones are from.
Now, that's an interesting article. That's an interesting piece. I don't know. I mean, when you look at things like this and then you turn around and say, oh, well, but I wasn't here back then. We're not asking you to take responsibility for what they did. We're asking you to change the things that happened because of what they did. So when we start to see unfair practices when it comes to schools, banking, all these different things. See, this is the problem. I don't think a lot of people realize what systemic racism is. A lot of people look at it as one part, one piece, and they don't see how the puzzle comes together. And they don't see why it's called systemic racism, because it's an entire system. Let me tell you guys, let me show you from the beginning. And this is just one strand, but you can have so many different strands of it. So let's say a kid is born, all right? And that kid is born to a parent that doesn't have a college degree or whatever, or doesn't have a decent job. So that kid is born into an area, one of the lesser desired areas, let's just call it that way. And then that child goes on to a school. Now, first off, most of the times, let's say, things aren't the greatest at home, so they're not necessarily getting the home education like they should. So now they go on to school, and they go to a school in an area that this school is not the greatest school either, because we already know. I mean, let's call it what it is. The schools that you find in the poor areas are not always the best schools. They don't always have the best teachers in that school. They don't always have, the best people there, the best support there, because normally it's going to be the new teachers who don't have the skills. It's going to be the new principal who doesn't really know how to run the school. It's going to be all these different people that are coming in, but they're all just now starting. So none of them actually have the skill set to teach the next one. So that kid comes through that school, and lo and behold, they don't have the books that they need, the technology that they need, the teacher that they need, the media center specialist, or even if they don't have a media center. So they're already falling further and further and further behind. So now by the time that kid gets to high school, and that kid is 3-4 years behind his counterpart on the other side of town, now we're going to say, oh, but you know what? They all went through school, the same kind of school. No, they didn't. So they should all be able to pass the same test. No, they shouldn't, because they didn't have the same school. They didn't have the same opportunities. And the crazy part is, what I'm saying is true for everything, no matter where you live. I don't care where you live. It's true in your area. And if you don't think it's true, ask around and you'll see. So now that person, because that kid didn't get the grade that they should have, or that the College Board thinks they should have gotten on their SATs or ACTs, now that child doesn't get to go on to college either, which starts the whole generational cycle over again. And that child goes into getting a lesser paying job, which keeps them in the same neighborhood. And then they have a kid, and the same cycle goes on and on and on and on. That's just the education track. Let's look at the other track now when it comes to the health and medical track. Now, the kid, again, you start out with that same kid in an underprivileged area where they're going to get the WIC and different things. For those who don't know what WIC is, because it may be called something different in your area or, in your country, wherever you. WIC is Women, Infant, and Children. And it's this check that you get, and I don't know if they still give a check or not, but they give it to you, and you go to the supermarket and you can pick up the things on that particular check. Now, the things on that check are always unhealthy stuff. Sweet cereals, sweet juices, like the Libby juice that is so sweet, it almost want to put your kid in a diabetic shock or something. Processed cheese, processed milk. They're saying it's supposed to be for healthy kids, but they don't give you vegetables, they don't give you fruits, they don't give you water, they don't give you anything at all that could be considered healthy for your child. Everything is extremely sweet, and it's crazy. Now, yes, it's free, and people are saying, well, it's free, go ahead and take it. But then that starts out with the juvenile diabetes, which could go into to adult diabetes, and it could go into so many other issues that you have health-wise. Then, because of the area that you're in, you're probably not, and the job that you have, you probably don't have the best insurance that you're going to be able to just run into your private doctor. So you either go to the free clinic or to the hospital, where they're going to just get you in and out real quick. Okay, in and out, in and out. What's wrong with you? Oh, I don't know. Okay, yeah, you know what? Just take these two aspirins and go home. But they didn't bother to run the tests and everything that they would if you had private insurance and you could afford to go to a doctor, or you could afford to go to a better hospital or whatever, instead of just going to the free clinic. So that's how it works on the health track, and which is why what we saw with the COVID-19, when they said it was hitting the African American communities a little bit harder because of underlying health issues and things like that. But it's not that you have underlying health issues, it's that you don't have the things that you need in order to eat and to be a little bit better. Most food deserts that you see are in the poor communities. You don't find grocery stores in the poor community. You don't find Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and all these different things in the poor community. You know what you find? You find a corner store that sells 40-ounce liquor. You find the corner stores that sell a gallon of milk for $5.50 or $6, when you could go over to the grocery store and get it for $4 or $3 and change. So how is the poor person supposed to, as people like to say, pull themselves up by the bootstraps? How are you supposed to pull yourself up by the bootstraps when you don't even have boots with straps? So it's crazy. I mean, yes, I'm on my soapbox today, and I'm just on this little rampage about certain things, but it's crazy because so many people seem to think that, oh, if we just stay quiet, it's going to change. If we just wait, it's going to change. If we just be patient, it's going to change. Well, people have been patient for how long now? People have been patient for generations, and it's not changing. They've been quiet for generations. It hasn't changed. Oh, just pray about it and it's going to change. No, that doesn't work either. Because here's the thing. Even the believer that is going to sit and tell me that if you pray about it, it'll change, that believer needs to open up their Bible and see that it tells you faith without works is dead, which means you have to do your part. It's not just going to change because you asked for it to change, because you prayed for it to change, because you begged God for it to change. Because yes, he'll do his part, but you have to do your part. And your part isn't always going to be easy. Again, if it were easy, everybody would be doing it. You wouldn't need to fight for it. You wouldn't have to ask for a change. Just saying. People keep texting me. Oh, my mom says it's buffering. I don't know. Is anyone else getting a buffering, or is it just her phone? I told her that Metro PCS. I don't know. No, actually, no. She switched to T-Mobile. But seriously though, it's there's a lot that we have to do if we want to see a change. We have to change within ourselves. We have to change within ourselves. And sometimes, you know what? Looking in the mirror and saying that I need to change, it's not an easy thing. I'm being for real. Again, like I'm going to go back to what I was saying about my weight. Okay, yes, it's easy to put it on. It's hard to take it off. But me just sitting here is not going to make it go away. I got to get up and walk and do things like that. And that's what I've been doing. I've been walking. Now, this morning I did 2 miles. Yesterday I did almost 4 miles yesterday. So it's like I'm doing it. I'm getting up and I'm doing it. I'm getting my walk in. But again, like I said, it's not easy, and it never is. no matter what it is. Okay, so other people are saying it's fine, so I guess it's my mom and her phone that's not that's buffering. But yeah, so I'm getting my walk in, and but like I was saying, if it was easy, if it was easy, you wouldn't need to fight. You wouldn't need to do it. You think getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and going out there for a walk is easy? Come on. I prefer to be in my bed sleeping. What are you, nuts? Or if not, turn on the morning news and watch and see what's going on. I mean, that's the easy thing to do. The hard thing to do is get up, put on your shoes, get up, get dressed, all that kind of stuff, and then head out and go for a walk when nobody else is out there. When no one else is out there in the morning. You know, that's the hard thing to do. But at the end, there's a reward. So again, people, if there's something that you need to do and you know what it is you need to do, get up and do it. You know, and we really got to keep our eye. Tika said, leave Metro PCS alone. That's my carrier. Okay. Sorry, Tika. You're your Metro PCS. All right. But one of the things we have to do too is we also have to start looking at when a person says something or does something or whatever, we can't just look at it as 100% negative. I posted something on my Facebook page the other day, and I'm gonna look and see if I still have it here, and then I'll show the page. But I posted it on my Facebook page, and what it was about what is your addiction, I believe it was called. There it is. Yep. So let me share that page with you guys. Let me share that screen with you really quick. So there you go. So it's called, what I said is, we're all addicted to something that takes away our pain. Now there's 8 different things on there. And one person actually replied and goes, oh, I see you're asking people if they're addicted to cocaine, so I'm not even gonna reply. Now, my thing is, out of the 8 things on there, the only thing you saw was cocaine? Me, the first thing I saw was the food, because I know that's what I'm addicted to. So I saw the food and I'm like, wow, that hit me right there. But the thing is, I know people that are addicted to the gym. I know that people that are addicted to all kinds of things. You know, as Eaton said in there, he said he's addicted to music. You know, this is him right here playing his music. You know, and so he was saying he's addicted to music. But the thing is, if people are looking at something like this that has 8 things on it and only pick one to be concerned about, come on, there's a lot that we can be concerned about. And as I said before, mine is the food. That's my big thing. Mine is food. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot that we can complain about, but there's a lot that we have to be grateful for as well. Let me go ahead and remove that share from there so I can get back to chatting with you guys. Yeah, so there's a lot that we can be grateful for as well. Years ago, I had a friend that was in a nursing home. She had dementia, and she just laid there all the time, and the only thing she could move was her eyes. She could blink, and she'd move her eyes from side to side. But she just laid there all the time. Didn't move, couldn't even move her head, nothing at all. And I would go visit her sometimes. My daughter would go with me, you know, my sister, different people would go. And I knew her and her husband and her kids for a while. And one day we took her downstairs in the wheelchair, and there was a guy that was there, and this guy was paralyzed from the neck down. He was actually in an accident. He used to work for a tree trimming company, and what happened was he was on his way home for his anniversary one day, and the boss called him up and said, "Hey, I can't remember the guy's name, but one of the guys was trying to trim this tree and he couldn't get it done. Can you go help him? And then he was like, yeah, but I'm on my way home for my anniversary. And the guy, and the boss was like, it shouldn't take you long. Just go ahead and help him real quick. So he goes, okay. He went and helped the guy. And he fell out of the cherry picker, the big bucket thing that they have. And he broke his neck. So he was paralyzed from the neck down. But the point of the story is we're sitting out there and this guy paralyzed from the neck down can only move his head. He had one of those things on his wheelchair where he could only go forward, go back, because it was like right there, like a little thing for his chin, and he can move it side to side, up, back, forward, back, things like that. But he said he thanks God every day when he wake up because he can still speak, he can still talk, he can still see, he still has all these other things. And then he turned to her and he goes, look at her. I'm in better shape than she is. And it's the truth though. We just have to thank God every day for the things that we have and the things we can do. Don't look at what we can't do. Of course, he could say, I'm mad because I can't move my hands, I can't move my legs, I can't walk, He could come up with a million can'ts. But look at the things he can do. Now, if a lot of you are familiar with dementia, you're pretty much trapped in your body. So it's like you're sitting, you're laying there, you know what's going on, but you can't communicate it because you're trapped in your body. So this man at least had his faculties, and he knew what he wanted to do. He could talk about what he wants to do. He could tell you, my head is itching. Can you scratch it? No, not there. Over to the right a little bit. He could tell you these things. She couldn't. So as much as he didn't have, he looked at what he did have, and that's how we have to be. I know I'm going from one thing to another, but and if I'm transitioning from one topic to another topic too much, let me know. But that's really what we have to do, though. We just have to wake up in the morning and thank God for what we have. Thank God for what we can do. All right? And then take what he gives us and work with it to build on it. So, there's a lot that we can use the skills that we have for. There's a lot that we can do. I just hate when I hear people say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Why not? My back hurts, okay? So my mind hurts too, but you know what? There's someone somewhere who can't even feel their back that would love to have the pain that you have and be able to just get up and go walking. Your knees hurt, okay, there's someone who doesn't have knees that, whatever. They may have been amputated, maybe paralyzed, maybe whatever. Be thankful for what you have. You can still get up and go to the bathroom, go up and go to the kitchen, get up and go wherever. You may not be able to run a marathon, but hell, most people nowadays can't run a marathon. And you ever look at the numbers of the people in the marathon, you're starting to see they're getting less and less because more people are just sitting at home than getting up there and doing marathons. But the point is, you can still get up and move. Thank God for that. You got up this morning. Thank God for that. You may not want what you have to eat in the fridge, but you have food in your fridge. Thank God for that. Seriously, your kids may be a problem, but thank God that you have them. Your parents may be a problem. Thank God that you still have them. So the thing is, we have to start to realize that God is going to give you what you need, but you have to use that and work for what you want. He'll give you what you need, but use it and work for what you want. If he gives you a car, but you say, oh God, I want to do what? Drive Uber. Make some money from it. Don't sit down and wait for money to fall out the sky like manna. Come on, this is crazy. Use the car for what you need to do and go forward from there. If he gives you whatever he gives you, find a way that you can use that to get to where you want to be. Because he's not always going to give you every single thing you ask for exactly the way you want it. but he's going to give you the tools that you can use to get what you want. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't want to sound like, I don't want to be a preacher here or anything like that, but if you guys want to pass the collection plate, you can cash at me, 954-801-0429. Cash at me, there you go. But but seriously though, there's a lot that we really just got to be thankful for. I think a lot of times, and me included, a lot of times we look at the negative side. We look at the bad side. God, I wanted to go outside, but it's raining. You know what? Maybe God kept me from going outside and something happening. So just be thankful that it's raining. Just be thankful that you have an insight to go to. Because not far away from where I live, I'm up on Sample Road over here, and you know what's so crazy? The other day it was raining out there, and there was a homeless guy sleeping on the curb right in front of this little building. And I'm like, and this was at night, so the building, the business was closed, and they were probably closed during the daytime anyway because of the COVID. But the thing is, he's just laying on the sidewalk sleeping, like it was cool, like everything was good. I'm like, wow. I don't know. But anywho, so I know I started late, but it's already 10 minutes after 1. I think, I jumped on the soapbox a little bit too long. You guys, if you have anything else you want to comment, talk about, whatever, send it over to me, let me know. I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy hearing your comments. I enjoy, replying to you. All these good things. I really do enjoy it. Now we're working on two other segments as well. Like I told you, we have the Know Your History segment where we're going to be talking about different things that happen all around the world. All right. But there's also another one that I'm looking at, and it's going to be Talent Tuesday. So basically, if you sing or whatever, mostly singing, but and you want to get your music out there, you want to get your music known, send it to me. Every Tuesday, I'm going to try to select a singer or someone that we can promote on the show. We'll play the music. We'll tell you guys where you can download it, where you can buy it, all different kinds of things like that. Tika said she always enjoyed the show, but I'll tell you where you can download and how you can support that artist, and we'll interview that artist to see what's going on and what their career is like, what their plans are like, all these different things. So if you guys know someone who's a singer or something, have them send me the information. All right, they can send it to Steve at lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com, and they could just come on the show, talk about their career. Now, though, there is one thing though. Honestly, you got to keep the music clean. You got to keep it clean. I don't care if you're singing reggae, soca, hip hop, R&B, zouk, whatever, you name it. Send the music. I don't care what kind of music it is, but you have to keep it clean. That's the only thing. All right. So I'll listen to it before I put it on the air. If I send it back to you, please don't be offended. It's just that it has to be clean. That's the only thing. All right. But send me your music, Steve at lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com. Let's get you some airplay. Let's get people out there to hear you. Let's get you booked at a birthday party, a wedding, whatever it is that you that you play for. But let's just make it happen. So you're gonna start to see Talent Tuesday coming up soon as we start getting some music coming in. And then the other thing that you're gonna start seeing coming up soon is Know Your History. I'm already working on a few of those so that we can run those during the show for you guys. All right. So again, I would definitely like to thank you guys for tuning in. If there's anything you guys want to comment on, you can either drop it in the link below, or you can hit me up. Again, Steve at lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com. You can visit my website, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com, and see other things that we have going on. All right. One of my advertisers is Kerwin, his car detailing business. So definitely, if you guys need to get your car fixed, I'm sorry, not fixed. If you need to get it detailed, clean, whether your kid spilled something in the seat, you need to get it shampooed, whatever. This is the man right here. Give Kervin a call, 954-549-8507. Again, Kervin at 954-549-8507. All right, guys. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and do a random act of kindness for a stranger. All right. Peace, people.